I'm telling you, Dr. McCoy, I'm the one who should be trying out this Tennessee whiskey. I'm the one on the Enterprise who's such a connoisseur of the fine spirits. Yeah, but Scotty, you also just favor that Scotch. And this is fine Tennessee whiskey. It's similar to what I've had in my home state of Kentucky. But I don't want to argue with you, Dr. McCoy. But, I should be able to have a sample of it. What do you think, Mr. Spock?
Well, Mr. Scott, I feel perhaps there should be enough logically for the two of you to imbibe, but you're both Starfleet officers on duty and should not be drinking on duty right now. What do you say, Captain?
I have to agree with you, Mr. Spock. There's enough for all of us to enjoy and imbibe. And there shouldn't be any arguments about any of this. Oh, you caught me, everyone. I'm here just getting in the mood to do this video. So I broke out my Star Trek, my old, from when I was a kid, Star Trek Mego action figures. So sit right back and let's learn about George Dickel Tennessee whiskey and how it fits into Star Trek lore. Alright everyone, it's me, David, coming to you from my whiskey den here in Central Ohio. And I got the toys put away. They're not dolls, they're action figures. Anyway, we're going to talk about George Dickel, the Black Label. There we go. Number 8 recipe today. And I want to first, please excuse me, this new setup. I'm trying to figure out the lighting. I know it's not what it should be, but let's just make it happen. Let's get the other thing out of the way. What's the Star Trek connection? Well, if you grew up watching Star Trek like I did, you would recognize this bottle that Captain Kirk is holding.
Now all you Trekkies out there recognize this bottle, don't you?
That's right. Captain Kirk drinking his famous bottle of Saurian brandy. And the Saurian brandy bottle was a prop that they used, and it was this bottle here from the George Dickel distillery. When they opened the distillery back up in 1964, this is the commemorative bottle. The producers of Star Trek used this bottle for the Saurian brandy. How did he drink it? Was it like that? I said, give me the brandy! Anyway, that's the Star Trek connection. And to be totally honest, the bottle is so cool. And once I learned where they got the prop from, I searched eBay high and low and got this one at a good price, and it sits proudly on my shelf. So here you go. George Dickel, number 8 Black Label. This is an 80 proof whiskey. The age statement on it, it's not an 8-year whiskey. It's aged 4 to 6 years. It has a price of $18 for this. The mash bill is 84% corn, 8% rye, and 8% malted barley. Here is a snippet from that original video of my first taste. Get my impressions of it, and we'll come back. So we're going to try a little of the George Dickel right now. I'm going to start with the 8 recipe, which is the 80 proof. And as always, these whiskeys that you see behind me, I mean, I buy them, pay for them. This is my personal collection, and I can tell you right off the bat, the last time I had George Dickel whiskey, I don't even remember it having a cork top. This has a cork top to it. I seem to remember it more of like a screw top, more traditional bottle. So let's try it out, and we'll see how that goes. Here, just drop something there. Anyway, let's see. I mean, it smells like a regular bourbon whiskey to me. But a Tennessee whiskey is a little different. But I think George Dickel is just a straight, they call it Tennessee whiskey because it's made in Tennessee. But it's more of a bourbon, sour mash bourbon. It is really good. I would use it more of a mixer than drinking it straight or on the rocks, but it does have that bite at the end that you get from some of your cheaper, at least in my opinion, cheaper whiskeys. So, you know, like a Jim Daniels, Jim Beam, White Label. It's just a basic whiskey. So there you go. That was my initial taste of this fine Tennessee whiskey. What do I think of it right now? Well, let's have a taste. We just got back from a trip to Kentucky. I picked up some really cool stuff that I'm going to review in the coming weeks, months, whatever. But we picked up these little snifters. I mean, these are little like shot glass sizes. So this is my initial use of this little glass. Oh, look at that. That's portion control. I got a little bit of this fine elixir on the top of my bar, so I'll have to wipe that up. Let me just put my little note paper there. Get rid of that. Okay. It smells really nice. It still smells good. It's a light brown color. This is nice. I gotta get some bigger ones of these. Man, now I know why these other YouTube whiskey reviewers use these things. They're elegant. They're nice. So let's see. It's really nice for a whiskey that doesn't have a high rye content to it. It's got a nice spice to it, nice little kick, but it's really mellow. Smells really good. And that is, you know, if you're sitting out grilling up some steaks, I talk about steaks and ribs a lot. I love steaks and ribs. You know, and if you're just sitting out there, just on the rocks, really good, and this will go really good with that steak or rib dinner as well. So there you have it, the George Dickel at 18 bucks a bottle. I mean, if you're going to decide between this and Jack, I mean, go for the George Dickel. It's a lot better whiskey for a lot less of the price. And George Dickel is the number 2, a very distant number 2 Tennessee whiskey, of course, behind Jack Daniels. So until next time, it's David talking to you from my whiskey den here in Central Ohio. And as always, I hope your next pour is your best pour. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.